His name is Mark Lyttelton. He is a geologist, and if anyone understands the hills of the peninsula, this is the bloke. Would you please welcome Mark up on stage?
Thank you very much, Bob. Great to be here, one of my favourite places in the Inner Harbour. The earthquake of week and a half ago, almost, was so much more intense than the previous one. I had just finished writing a report about the previous one for the council, in which we were patting ourselves on the back, quite honestly, about how well the hill suburbs had performed and the fact that we hadn't had any significant damage to houses from landslides and rockfalls. This time it's quite different. We've got it all. We've got the liquefaction again at a scale that's probably 10 times greater. We've got a lot of rockfall, and we've got landslides potentially because we've got soil cracking. So what I'm doing at the moment is working for Civil Defence, trying to make sure that life and limb issues and lifeline issues are being addressed in a way that will keep you safe. Sometimes the way we do that is a fairly blunt instrument. We say, sorry, you shouldn't be in your house, and we put a red placard on the house. Now that is disruptive to you, but it's nowhere near as disruptive as a serious injury or a death, which is what we're talking about potentially with rocks. I know there's a number of areas in Lyttelton where we have the red placards in place. As we speak, we have geologists working in Lyttelton, but also right along the Port Hills. We've got a team of about 25 to 30 people doing our best to carry out all at once a first assessment so we can define the worst places, as well as getting into some work on the most obvious worst places all at once. We're struggling to get our systems sorted out, but they're getting better and better by the day. And we're hoping that we'll get better communication with you too in terms of what can happen going back into houses. The red placards aren't in most cases forever. If they're red placards for geotech reasons, we can often do things up on the hill, mainly removing the rocks by breaking them up or burying them or some other clever system. And I'm hoping that a lot of the places that have been evacuated can be reoccupied. But I must say that there will be some that probably never will be, because this earthquake has shown that we live in an active fault zone. And the sort of engineering that's appropriate in an active fault zone is quite different to the sort of engineering that we thought we would be able to continue with. And the older the areas, generally, overall, perhaps the risks are higher. I mean, we've still got problems in the new areas, but some of these older areas, people weren't thinking always with the siting of their houses, and they also didn't mind carrying more risk than people like nowadays. So what we want you to do if you've got rocks in your property is to contact the council through the council number that Bob will give to you.
It's the same 24/7 number that we use for everything else. In fact, everywhere else we've gone, we've got the kids to say it over and over again. It's important to remember it's 941 8999. 941 8999. And that's a 24/7 number, and you should just have that one on written on the fridge or something anyway. So that's the one you need.
Thank you, Bob. The idea is that we will attempt to then get to your place as soon as we can. I mean, we will get there, but it will take days in some cases. And we will assess the number of houses potentially affected by rocks, and in some cases go straight on to doing something about it. I mean, we had a little win within a few days of the earthquake. I got Cressy Terrace open with some contractors working up there, and we removed rocks above Cass Bay and Corsair Bay. And allowed the reoccupation of some homes there. So it can happen and does happen, but the scale of it is such that it will take a long time. And I'm talking many weeks, possibly months, for some of these places to be either reoccupied or a decision made in conjunction with the Earthquake Commission, who insure the actual house and land, as to whether or not it can be safely reoccupied or rebuilt. So those are hard things to face, but there's no point in pretending that there isn't a problem in some areas, and just keeping our fingers crossed that no one is injured or killed. So we have to be conservative. At the end of this, I'm going to be standing somewhere where Bob puts me. I'm not sure where we'll go this time. And we'll have with us Helen Grant over there, who could raise an arm. And beside her, we have from USAR, another geotech engineer who is making many of these decisions alongside me as to which places are red placarded, and his name's Grant Dallow. So Grant and Helen will be available with me to field questions after this. So at this stage, I think I'll wrap up and just say again how nice it is to be here at this time of the day and in these surroundings. Thank you.